Good evening. Welcome to Hawthorne. It'll be our pleasure to feed you.
Alright guys, this is the review for The Menu 2022. This movie focuses on a couple who visit an exclusive resort restaurant, and their host, the chef, played by Ralph Fiennes, I think that's how you say his name, who also played Voldemort. He is the chef who creates this extravagant menu for these rich folk, and there's some surprise twists all throughout. I only watched one trailer and didn't really know what it was about. I just know that some messed up stuff about a menu, a chef, and some rich people going to an island. Craziness ensues. I thought it was a horror movie. It's definitely not a horror film. Let's get that straight. This is a spoiler-free review, so there will be spoilers at the end, though. I will give you a warning when the spoilers commence. Alright, let's get into the review. So the main character, oh my god, I don't even remember her name. You know, I'm so bad with names. Margot. She was pretty fantastic, I gotta say. I liked her in The Witch. She has a very odd look to her. Like, I don't know. She has like anime eyes. I mean, big eyes or spread apart eyes. I don't know. But either way, she did a pretty good job. She's a good actress. She had some interesting character revelations throughout the movie. Everything was unfolding at a good pace with the story. The side characters were all fun, including her boyfriend Tyler, which I thought he was hysterical. Like, there was things going on, and the way he was reacting to those things throughout the movie, it was weird. And I'm like, what is this dude doing? But the story itself was, I thought, told very well. I thought the character of the chef, Julian something, he was spectacular. He was a great menacing monster. You understood why he was doing what he was doing, and I don't want to say too much because this is a spoiler-free review. I will not give away too much of his motives. He has a reason for everything he's doing, and there are some things that went kind of unanswered with the story, and it didn't end in a fully satisfying way. I'm like, all right, that's kind of weird. I'm not fully with it, but I guess it's okay. Some good moments. I enjoyed the story. It kept me invested all throughout the movie. Even the food making was great. The close-ups of all the food, and it was like I was watching a YouTube video about HelloFresh or whatever. It was quite appetizing. If I hadn't eaten Panera beforehand, I think I would have got pretty hungry throughout the film, because the food did look pretty tasty or exotic, exquisite. But the ending, though, like, everything was great. The characters, the acting, the story was solid. But the ending and the climax of the film, it was getting a little over the top for me. It was, I'm like, all right, that's weird. I guess I know what you're doing, but I don't fully buy it. Okay, guys, this is my rating of 2022's The Menu. It gets a solid 83%. I would recommend you just watch it. You don't need to see it in theaters. It's not a theater movie. You can stream it at home and probably get the same experience. Or go to the Red Box and pick it up. But it's a movie worth seeing. It's definitely a fresh movie, pun intended. Ultimately, it's a very good movie that you would only really watch once or twice in your life, and that's about it. I recommend it entirely, especially if you're sick of the same old cinema that we've been getting. This is fun. It is, without a doubt, a thriller comedy. There is a lot of comedic elements throughout it, and I laughed and chuckled a couple times. It was dark and twisted. It was my kind of movie. It just kind of fell apart towards the end. So Margot is an escort. She is a server. She did not belong with those rich people, and the chef tries to bring her to his side. The entire goal of that night is, by the end of it, this is like his masterpiece, this menu, everyone's gonna die. That was revealed way too early, in my opinion. I don't think it should have been revealed. I mean, I guess we could have seen that going that way, but it told us right off the bat, everyone's gonna die. And they played around with that. There's some story beats that I wasn't a fan of, such as the Hunger Games run out into the wild and catching the men. It didn't need to be. It didn't need to be. Like, it was kind of pointless in the end. I understand why they did that and what it symbolized, but they caught them and they brought them back, and nothing really new happened. It was just a chase and catch kind of thing. Catch and release, and then catch again. The boyfriend, Tyler, he was awesome. He was a dickhead, but at the same time, he was very funny. Because we found out later that he knew what was going to happen that night. Everyone was going to die. He was told basically all the secrets about that menu. And because Tyler knew of all this, his initial date had broken up with him, and he was forced to find another date. And he had to bring another one because they only accepted dates. They didn't accept just single people to the menu, to the restaurant. So he hired an escort who wasn't rich at all. She was an escort. And she went there, and the chef quickly realized that this woman wasn't the rich, uppity types. She was instead some sort of server, and he pulled that out of her. And this entire movie was about the servers versus the ones who take. And the ones who take are never satisfied. I like the ending, or the climax, when she makes, after she betrays the chef, calling the police. She says to the chef, "I'm going to send back my food." And then has him make a hamburger. And that's where he started off at. Before he was a big old-time chef, he was just flipping burgers like SpongeBob. And she had him do that because he lost his love for cooking and the art of cooking. He was doing it out of an obsession rather than love. And she called him out on that. And as he's cooking that burger at the very end, you saw some, like, a twinkle in his eye, I guess you could say. Like, he was smirking, like he was feeling that love of cooking again, that passion. Just making a simple burger, nothing exquisite, juicy, greasy, terrible for you, but he loved it. And he ended up sending her on her way. And I think he found that love for making food again, but he was already too deep into his menu, and he proceeds to let Margot go, and then turns everyone else into s'mores. Yeah, he puts a marshmallow blanket around everybody, or like a suit or whatever on people, and then puts a chocolate hat on them, and then lights them all on fire, and everyone explodes, including the chef and his people. I didn't fully understand why his people were going down with the ship. His workers. It didn't really fully make sense to me. I understand why he was doing it. I don't know if he was like a cult leader. Like, he was the idea of what a cult leader would be. He convinced them of this idea that he had. But I just, it was getting weird and wacky at the end. I thought all the characters, from the actor to the food critic, who I thought they were all great. They were all serving a purpose in that film. Again, I recommend seeing this movie. It was good. It was solid 83%, as I said before. I think it probably makes my top 15, top 10. But if it was more rewatchable and the ending was a little better or a lot less wacky, like turning them into s'mores, I'm like, all right, this is getting a little over the top. Didn't care for it. But this is a good thriller comedy, black comedy. I recommend it entirely. But until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
We now offer you a 45-second head start. Okay, 45 seconds starts now.
Harry Potter est mort! Hé hé hé! Hé hé hé!